Hello everyone. Welcome to Crypto Diary. This is my video for today, and my name is Noah. We have a lot to discuss, including why Shiba's stock price has recently dropped significantly. While this does not make me happy in any way, shape, or form, I would like to share some information with you in the hopes that we can help with the recovery. So, if you're looking for some info about Shiba, let's get started. So, if you haven't seen what's going on with Shiba right now, we're approaching the 50s. And this is something we will be discussing for a long time on Crypto Diary. Unfortunately, we had hoped that the shade would be able to add 60 lines of bounce off in almost every case. That was the plan all along. And as you can see, it occasionally bounces back from that 60-point level. The issue is that it has now dropped much lower than that. In this unfortunate situation, Shiba fell to around 52. I'm sure many people paid a higher price. And what we're seeing lately is essentially people purchasing Shiba at a significantly lower price than the majority of people paid. So, again, if we look at the market cap, we can see that we were at 55, and I would say that the majority of people who bought it during the last run probably did so at least at 60. I've been following this for quite some time. So, for someone like myself, I did purchase Shiba a long time ago, but back for a lot of others, when it comes down to it, man, out of this recent run for the folks that bought an ADA, this is a little stressful, as a 20% decrease on the day with a 20% decrease in market cap as well at 30 billion right now, which has sent it down at 211, putting it right behind. The volume is now significantly higher, and this is simply a lot of sales volume, which is terrible. So the question is, what is causing this? How did the momentum behind this manage to crash? There are a few theories, but before I get to the guys, please subscribe for more videos. Guys, the truth is that I believe many people were hoping for a kind of bounce back over here, but never saw it. And there are numerous indicators that we could use to get a sense of what is going on. When you look at the moving average cross, which is, of course, a good one, you can see that it is a strong indicator in this case. When the red moving average crosses the green moving average, it is usually a good sign. And, of course, when the green crosses red, it is typically bearish. As for the actual movement, we had a lot of theories about this being an asymmetrical wedge, but when it came down to it, it still looked like a symmetrical wedge. Right now, it appears that this could be a kind of falling wedge. If this is the case, the problem is that the drop was so volatile that it was most likely just a flash sell-off by some whales. The truth is that this crash was extremely dangerous. This instant drama was extremely volatile. I believe that many people have developed a fear of re-entering and that is a problem because when we check the relative strength, you may notice that we are way below. We're in the 20s, which is just terrible, and shows that Shiba is being grossly oversold. You are aware that this is not typical market movement. We are now in danger of being oversold, which is disastrous. So, of course, our goal is to get somewhere back, as we are up against a lot of headroom. So that gives us, the opportunity to return. However, we would prefer to be somewhere in the low 40s in order to have the opportunity for explosive growth. Again, this comes as a surprise to me because every indicator we can look at indicates that this is a bullish trend. Of course, you can see that we have a triple bottom. Of course, we have one bottom, another bottom, and yet another bottom. If we want, we can encompass these together, which creates a triple bottom. However, what you may see is a very bullish movement. Something along these lines is extremely bullish. And the problem is that the triple bottom simply did not work. Is it possible that we're looking for a continuation of this? Is it conceivable? Is it possible that this is the final part of the triple bottom before an insane bull run, which is very possible? Do you understand what I mean? It is possible that this is just a continuation of this, and that we will see a very sharp bull run after that. But, once again, this is a little more volatile than I prefer. That's a lot more volatile than I'd like, and it demonstrates how difficult it is to account for what whales will do because, in the end, a lot of whales have a lot of control over Shiba. I mean, there's a lot of power in Shiba's hands. Shiba, of course, here at their scan with the 900,000 people, there are still some very large whales that, have a lot of influence over what's going on. Of course, you should be aware that we do have some exchanges, but there are a lot of whales who have a significant influence on what is going on. And, as you can see, there is a lot of money in this with a lot of controls. If one of you decides, hey, I'm going to sell, it marks the beginning of a very volatile dip. Of course, other whales could be doing the same thing. There are a lot of tokens out there that don't have the power of a whale like Shiba. And, once again, even with 900,000 holders, the majority of the 900,000 have little influence over the price. And it is undeniably difficult. Of course, if you remember, the guy who turned 8,000 into like 5 or 4 billion or whatever, he moved $2.4 billion worth of Shiba into 4 different wallets, sending 600 million to each wallet. So that definitely makes it extremely difficult to get a sense of what he is planning. So, again, you have moments like that, and those are inherently bullish to some extent, but when it comes down to it, if a couple of whales do something that, shocks the supply in the market, that can definitely cause a lot of issues. We then looked at the Fibonacci retracement. You can see that it will, of course, provide us with data. This crash has not been meticulously planned. So, when we look at this, let's leave out this crash. So, if we don't do that, we have the high of the run, which is 72, and the low of the run, which is 62. And, in essence, we have a choice. If, for some reason, this brief flash crash is all that it appears to be, we can recover and return to the low 60s. And, of course, teetering below the 23.6% line, which would be a line of resistance where these 65 would be the only concern here is whether candles will be strong enough to resist this flash crash or whatever you want to call it, this flash drop and be able to push ourselves back into the Fibonacci retracement range. That's difficult to say. It really depends on whether or not this is long-lasting, and it quickly returns to above 60, and my theories were correct, and we're all happy. And it's back above 60, or are we going to continue to fall? So, all in all, it's a little concerning, but I hope you guys have a glimmer of hope, because everything, was laid out. So, hopefully, I was able to make you feel a little better about Shiba's future. Of course, I still believe that in 6 months, Shiba will be worth much more than it is today. That is my personal viewpoint. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. It's much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe. See you guys at the next video.